Hey, good morning, guys and gals. We're going to go back to the three dots here, and in this particular video, we're going to go over the USB player and the XLive card. I actually happen to use the XLive card, so this is pretty easy. So let's start with the USB player. Once we get up into this, a couple things you need to realize. That number one, they recommend no larger than a 32 gig USB drive. And believe it or not, that'll hold 43, 44 full-size CDs, depending on how much space you have in between the songs and the actual CDs. And the second thing is very, very important. CDs are 44.1 16-bit WAV format. So if you're going to strip a bunch of CDs to put on your USB thumb drive, then your mixer must be set up in 44.1. Okay, so if we come back to setup here, as we can see right here, the clock, the sample rate, I've got mine set at 44.1. Okay, if you have it set on 48 and you have your music on there at 44.1, it will not play. Okay, so here, these are the files that I actually have on my thumb drive. Now, this is for when you want to use it as an audio player. If you notice the little cogwheel right up here, this is going to be when you want to use it as a recorder. Okay, and here we have our source left and our source right. Here we have what we actually want to record, which right now I'm recording the main left, and then over here on the main right. Here it's pre-EQ. If you want to record it the way it's going to, the way that it's coming out of your mains, then you would put it on post fader. Okay, so you have these different tap points here that you can actually do these recordings in. And then again, over here the same way, pre-EQ for the right source. I would put this down on post fader as well. That is for the recording aspect of it. Okay, so here we're going to concentrate on the playing part of it. And again, if I come up here and click the cogwheel, the mode right here, the folder. Now you can play back a particular folder that has your music in it, or you can play back a single file. Okay, that's what this mode is. Right now we're going to switch it back to folder. We're going to go back. And now if I hit play, I just break 1, break 2 all the way. These are the same files right here, just so you know. I just gave them a different name. If you're in a band, this is your first break. You're going to play this music. Second break, you can take this music and stream it all together using a DAW like Reaper. You just connect them and just have one file, whatever you want to do. But anyway, you can double click it, and it's starting to play. And there it is coming right there through our USB left and our USB right. This is your aux in 7 and 8. Okay. Now, the thing about mixing station that everybody loves, remember now, we're doing all of this up here off of these 3 button main menu tabs here. That's what I'm going to call this. But you can actually set up a button that will bring up your USB player automatically. Okay, same thing for the XLive card. So now that we've learned where this is in the USB, let's go ahead and go to the XLive. And again, we have this cogwheel up here. We're going to click on that. Now, where do we want the playback to come from? If we're going to be using a DAW like Reaper, then we would have it coming through the USB card. But since we're using the SD card, the XLive card, we're going to use that for our playback. The channel routing, you can leave it automatic. Here is your USB interface. What do you want to record into your DAW or play back from your DAW? If you're just going to do a set of drums, maybe you want 8 in and 32 out. It's just Totally up to you on what you want to do. Okay? But we're going to put this back on 32 in and 32 out. Up here, our SD cards, our selection. Then we have the time that's left on the cards that we have. And then our SD recording. Again, do we want to record 32 channels, 16, or 8? And you also have the format button. So now that we have our session selected, we're simply going to come up here and hit play. And there it goes. And if we go up to our channels here, as you can see, it's playing back each individual channel that I recorded. One thing I did notice on a side note, here I've got this particular layer customized, but if I click up here, it's going to show all the channels. Okay. And then we come back and then we can hear if we had any markers in there. As we're recording, we can put markers into it. But again, right now, we're just playing it back. Okay? And that's it. That is how simple it is, or that's where you find the controls to operate your USB or your XLive cards. All right? Take care. God bless. And we are out of here.